All right, everybody, so go ahead and update your table of contents. Make sure you have taken your attendance quiz. Today is the 9th, and we're going to talk about solving systems by substitution and elimination today. So first off, pause this video, and I want you to see if you can solve this, okay? Solve this. All right, so let's see if you got this right. So if each of these faces add up to give me 30, and there's 3 of them, that means each of these faces must be worth 10. So if the face is worth 10, and I add 2 thumbs up to give me an 18, that means the thumbs up each are worth 4. Well, if the thumbs up were worth 4, and I subtract the 2 eyes to give me 2, that means the 2 eyes are worth 2. So here on the bottom, that means the eyes are 2, the face is 10, my thumbs up is 4. So 10 plus 2 plus 4 gives me 16. Now, what we just did there, that is going to basically be what we're doing today, but with equations, okay? This is what we're doing for the first half of the day, where we find out what one thing's equal, and we take it and use it in another equation. And then we take what something else equals, and we use it in another equation. We're just taking things that we know and using it in other equations. So, what does substitution mean to you, okay? Substitution method is going to be this new method that we're going to use to be able to find solutions, okay? Last week, we talked about graphing. And maybe for you at home, graphing wasn't the easiest. And if that's the case, maybe substitution or this other method we're going to talk about here later will be a little bit easier for you, and you'll be able to use one or both of these or all 3 methods we've talked about to find solutions. But what you want to write down is what substitution is. It basically means you are replacing something. Substitution is best used when one equation is solved for one variable. In other words, you have y equals something or x equals something. You want to make sure you get that written down. Now, when we are trying to find a solution to a system, and they give us 2 equations, when I see that x equals something, like I see here, they tell me x equals 5. That automatically tells me that substitution is probably the best to do. All right? So if I'm going to use substitution, what that means is literally I'm going to take this 5 here, and since I've been told that x equals 5, that means also in my equation below, x should equal 5. So then in my equation, I can go ahead and take this x and replace 5 with it. So on your paper, you can erase x and put a 5 in its place. Because now when you do that, you can now have 5 plus y equals 21, and you can solve for y. Subtract 5 from both sides. My 5's cancel. I get y equals 21 minus 5. Can't do that in your head. Don't be afraid to use your calculator. It's 16. Now, while that is my y, whenever they tell us to find the solution, they're still asking us to get a coordinate. So our coordinate is going to be 5, because that was my x at the very beginning, right here. And then my y of 16, and that's my answer. So that's how you do substitution. Next, what if they tell me x equals 2y and they give me x plus y equals 21? Well, I'm going to do the same thing. This time they told me 2y equals x. So in my second equation, I'm going to replace my x here with 2y. Now notice I have 2y plus y equals 21. Those are like terms. So that means I can combine them. 2y plus 1y is 3y equals 21. In order to solve for y, I'd have to divide by 3. So y equals 21 divided by 3, which is 7. Now, here's the problem. They didn't tell me what x equals. They didn't give me a number for x equals. They told me x equals 2y. So if x equals 2y, now I'm going to have to go ahead and replace what I just found of 7 here for y. So now I'm going to do x equals 2 times 7, which is 14. Then I can write my answer as 14, 7. My suggestion is right now, pause this video so you can get this written down and you can fully process everything that we just did. Make sure you know how I did every step. All right, pause the video, see if you can do this one. Okay, so I have y equals 5x, negative x minus y equals 21. They tell me that y equals 5x. So in my equation, I'm going to take y, I'm going to erase y, and I'm going to put 5x in its place. So now I have negative x minus 5x equals 21. Notice, guys, when I replace, all the letters are the same now if I had a letter before. Okay, if I had a letter up here, when I bring it down here, it ends up being the same as the other one. That's how you know you were replacing correctly. If you end up with 2 different letters here and here, you did not replace correctly. They should end up being the same letter when you replace, because now I can combine like terms to give me negative 6x, because negative 1x and negative 5x combined give me negative 6. Equals 21. Divide both sides by a negative 6, and I'm going to get x equals negative. This is not going to give me a whole number here. It's going to give me a simplified fraction. My simplified fraction for 21 divided by 6 is 7/2. If you want to put the decimal, that is perfectly fine. You can use the decimal here if you want to, okay? But I'm going to leave it as the fraction for now. So now that I have my x, I can go ahead and put that back into my y equals equation because I did not have a number yet for my x, for my y. So I'm going to put my x value that I just got into my original equation to get y equals 5x, so y equals 5 times negative 7/2. When I multiply those in my calculator, it's either going to give me the decimal or it's going to give me the fraction of negative 35/2. So then my final answer is negative 7/2, comma, negative 35/2. And that's my answer. So guys, that's the basics of substitution. On the next video, we are going to talk about elimination method. So make sure you go on to the next video and watch how to do the elimination method.